In this question, we have to estimate the length of B and figure out if it's the wavelength. Hidden in this problem is the secret requirement of finding what wavelength is regardless of what B is. Altogether, we're answering 3 questions in this problem. What is wavelength? What is B? And if these two quantities are the same as each other. First, let's figure out wavelength. This is the horizontal distance between 2 consecutive points of equal height and equal slope. It may be true that both purple points have the same height and slope. However, they're not consecutive in sharing these features. Hence, this is not a wavelength. When we do link together consecutive same slope, same height points, we see that this is a wavelength and this is a wavelength. So 600 nanometers is equal to twice the wavelength, so our wavelength is therefore 300 nanometers. Next, let's check to see if B is also a wavelength. And given the definition of wavelength, this is not wavelength because even though these 2 points have the same height, this is a negative slope and this is a positive slope. So the real question is, what does B actually equal? Now, we won't be able to get an exact value for B, but we can compare it to a single wavelength. Here we see it's clearly less than a wavelength, i.e. less than 300 nanometers. Zooming in, we can see that B is more than half of the wavelength, i.e. more than 150 nanometers. In summary, 1. Wavelength is 300 nanometers. 2. B and wavelength are not the same thing. And 3. Estimating B, it's between a half of a wavelength and a full wavelength.